you, Rashmi, for a nice introduction. First off, I would say that, it's lovely to be here, to have the opportunity to address young fashion leaders of tomorrow. Karthik, that was a very inspiring sermon from the Mount kind of speech. There were a lot of important lessons that he touched upon, which I think I will take home, and I think, I advise you to, including honesty to yourself, honesty with each other. I have been part of a management program in the ISB which had a small batch, and, it is difficult to be your own critique. It's difficult to be your, classmates' critique. But in design and in what you're about to do, it is very important because the real world is pretty harsh, and it's nice to have a bouncing board. So please use that. Karthik, I'm taking a few things from you because I really second that. The second thing that he said, which was very, very interesting, is travel the road not taken, which is something that he has done, which is why he could speak so much from the heart. It's something that I have done as well in what you're all doing. We come from a society that is still all about engineers and doctors. Even when I was a model, people would say, okay, but what else do you do? I said, it's a full-time profession. Walking is a full-time profession? I said, yeah, there is an art to it. It's tough, it's, yes, glamorous, but not everybody can. You have to be focused. You have to say no to all those gulab jamuns. There are, quite a few things to modeling and quite a few threads that come out of modeling, which, you have to do full-time. So the road not taken is very important. Karthik was talking about his background and, where he came from and how difficult it is. Well, in my case, my parents were, business people. My mother's a doctor, and so they ran a business together. I was an only child. To some extent, a little more privileged, I would say, from being forced to do engineering or, degree. But it was still difficult. It doesn't matter if you're privileged or not. You're in India. In India, people judge you. I mean, have you ever been to a party where the second question is not, so what do you do? And, if you say, a model, they're already judging you. They're already thinking, okay, maybe let's talk about something that's not so, in depth. So I've been through that. And I also succumbed to doing an MBA because I felt it was the right thing to do. And I did a lot of other things in between and after. And, hey, I look back and I feel every single thing contributed to who I am and what I can do. So, go with your heart. It'll tell you the right thing. Don't be bogged down by dogma, or in our country's case, karma, and what you should be doing or what people, think you should be doing. It's very important to quieten down and really listen to your heart, because your heart knows already. So, as I said, a lot of important lessons there, Karthik. I enjoyed it very much. I'd like to touch upon a little bit about the fashion business, because that's what you're all going to be in some way or the other. So fashion is a serious business, right? I'll start off with a funny anecdote about how perplexing it can also be for a lot of people who don't understand it. So if any of you have traveled recently to any of the airports around the world, there are these metal detectors, and you literally have to take off everything but your clothes to put it on the belt. You put your belt, your mobile phone, your keys, your shoes, because you might be carrying a shoe bomb or something else under the heel, I don't know, whatever. So at one such time, there was a long line and everybody was taking off everything and going through. And there was this lady with, lovely Christian Louboutin heels, the typical red heel shoe. Very uncomfortable to wear. Spend $1,000, but you pretend like it's your canvas shoes. And so she walked through. And so there was this officer, junior, under training. He asked his he asked the senior, why did you just let her through with her shoes? Everybody else is taking off these cumbersome boots and, tie-ups. So she, without batting an eyelid, said that no sensible woman would blow up her shoes. So that's fashion for you, right? It's not about creating need. It's about creating desire. It's about wanting to create something that somebody wants, which they don't necessarily need to have. And that is the fine point, I think, because my husband still doesn't understand why I need anything more than 5 shoes. When he has his formal shoes, he has his walking shoes, he has his chappals, he has something else. And he's like, that's fine, right? Why do you need 100 shoes? Oops, that's how much I have. It's not about just basics. It's about looking good, it's about feeling good, it's about, making someone have a statement. If you look at Indian fashion from before, I think we were pioneers. Today we say, oh, how can we imitate this Western designer or that Western designer? But we had it within us years ago. But it was a social status thing. The queens dressed up well, the Maharaja ordered Cartier or whatever. Today, it's not that anymore. It's percolated down to anyone, to students, to professionals. People want to look and feel good about what they're wearing. So that's, I think, very important as budding fashion designers, merchandisers, communication. How do you reach your consumer? There is that fine balance between creativity and commercialism that has to be also walked. As designers or art directors, you're all constantly having this fight, saying, why should I be commercial? But it's important. And I think that is a great example that I'm sure you study about in college, because it's an example that I've followed, which is the example of Zara. How many of you have heard of Zara? Okay. So quite a few of you. Right? So Zara is this Spanish brand that was started by a guy of literally no means. He started off with a store making bathrobes. And then he saw this opportunity. He saw so many things that were not done right in the industry that he changed. So instead of waiting for the season, the next season, which could be quite a few months apart, he decided to create a label that would come up with new designs every week. And that's very difficult to do because the supply chain, the logistics, there is so much to it. But he still figured out that if he tweaks a few things along the way, that he'll be able to create desire at your, literally, you can walk into a Zara, it's affordable, it's trendy, there's variety, the amount of inventory that there is, it just stays for a couple of weeks and then you don't get it. And then when something is scarce, you desire it more. So I think they are a great brand they're a great example of how a brand can reach the masses, can still stay true to design and walk that fine line. So the world is your stage today. Why not a globally known Indian brand? I don't think it's too far away. And I think, you're the people who can make that happen. There's another funny example. Prada came out with a bag earlier this year called the Madras bag. And you know where it's been inspired from? Party Spinnal basket. You know that kude? That used to be so embarrassing for me when my Tair Sadam came for my, during my school break in Church Park. I'm like, oh my God, all these Punjabis have these yummy paneer, butter masala and everything. And I had Tair Sadam and a Nartanga in one, Pinnal kude. And it was so unfashionable. But today, Prada has used that exact weave to create this amazing bag for 1,500 pounds. And anybody is carrying it. And everyone's like, oh wow, I want this grandma's Pinnal kude. Except it's not called that. It's called the Prada Madras bag. So that is how fashion happens. You can get inspired by anything around you that you may think is uncool today, but just with a little twist can end up being very, very fashionable. So I think it's a great industry to be in, to be able to channel creativity with, instant gratification in a way. You can actually see the end of that happening. So all of you, I think, are, poised on a great journey, and I wish you all the very best. To touch upon a couple of things from my own experience in modeling, things have changed a lot in the last 10 years. And there's a testament to how important the fashion business is in India today by the fact that there are so many more magazines that they were not even there when I was modeling, which was just 10 years ago. There are so many other, there are fashion blogs, there are retail stores, every luxury brand wants to come to India. So you are in a very dynamic environment. So, it's very important that you capture that. You've made a great choice. Like, for instance, Indian designers have become international. International designers want to be inspired by Indians. So, it's all there, and, go with your heart. One last thing before, I sign off is that, which is irrespective of what line you decide to go into, I think it's very important that people of our generation are more socially aware. I don't mean to sound like someone who wants to lecture, but I think that that's something we have to be aware of. We don't live in the same safe environment anymore as we did maybe one generation ago. And how can we be socially aware? It could be something as small as the materials that you use in your designing, or it could be in helping out your neighbors or your family. I think it's a very important thing that anyone should take away when they begin their careers or whatever. It's that one should be socially responsible. The world is ours. We should leave it. Why leave it for a better place for our children? Why don't we make it a better place for ourselves? So, if we can take that in whatever we do, I think, we will be a better, safer, happier place. So be happy, good luck, and it was great being here, and thank you for inviting me.